He could play almost anything: drums, piano, trumpet, guitar. But there was one instrument Justin Bieber never touched again. Not after that day, and until now, no one ever knew why. From the outside, Stratford, Ontario looked like any quiet Canadian town. But in 2004, it housed a secretan 11-year-old boy with a talent that would soon electrify the world. Justin Bieber wasn't just another kid with a dream. He was a prodigy. By the age of 8, he could mimic melodies by ear on nearly any instrument he touched. His mother, Patty Millette, often described him as a walking radio, able to pick up tunes and replicate them with astonishing precision. He started with the piano, then moved on to drums. Guitar followed. Even trumpet thirdly. A child's first choice came naturally to him. His fingers learned faster than books could teach. YouTube videos of Justin busking on the steps of the Avon Theater quickly went viral. People were captivated by this small boy with a big voice and even bigger rhythm. But there was something no one saw. An instrument that appeared briefly and then vanished. In an old photo album uploaded by a distant cousin of Justin's own that fans barely noticed, there's a blurry image of Justin holding something unusual. A viola. Not a violin, not a cello. A viola is slightly larger than a violin, deeper in tone, and notoriously difficult to master. The caption read, "Justin's third music lesson, Spring 5. The post was quickly taken down, but it sent certain Reddit communities spiraling. Most fans had never heard of Justin playing viola. In interviews, he had listed the instruments he knew, but viola was never among them. Why would a musical genius abandon an instrument he could have mastered easily? And why? According to one former neighbor, did he come home crying after his third lesson and never mention it again? A local source known in Stratford only as Mrs. K ran a private music studio from her home. She was known for being strict, eccentric, and according to some parents, intense in her methods. Records show that Justin took 3 viola lessons with her in early 2005. Just 3, then nothing. Mrs. K's home was sold later that year. She moved away. Her name doesn't appear on any of Justin's official biographies or interviews. Some believe she never existed. Others say her real name was Karen Wickhama, retired viola soloist, who lost her son in a tragic accident and never fully recovered. Rumors began circulating that Mrs. K had given Justin a piece to play that wasn't in any music book, a piece titled 6 Strings in Silence. In 2025, Justin, now 31, was in Iceland, recording in isolation at Floki Studios, a retreat built deep in the valleys, far from the public eye. It was supposed to be the beginning of a new era, less pop, more soul, less production, more vulnerability, but the session stalled. According to a sound engineer on site who later posted anonymous, Justin seemed distant, distracted. He spent hours alone in a small cabin on the property, not speaking, just writing, sometimes crying. One day, an assistant was cataloging archived files in the studio's old storage room when he found something strange. A folder, faded, torn, on the front, written in black Sharpie, "Stratford, do not open." Inside the folder were pages of handwritten lyrics, fragments of thoughts, sketches of musical notes, and at the very back, a yellowing cassette tape. The label read, "Viola track, private." They played it once. The assistant described what he heard as haunting. The tape began with silence, then soft weeping. The sound of a viola, playing single, trembling notes, and then Justin's voice. But not the pop star voice the world knew. This was a child's voice. He was speaking, not singing. He whispered, "I don't like the sound of this. It feels like goodbye." Why does it feel like goodbye? Then a series of broken viola notes, dissonant, off rhythm, like the instrument was being played by someone trying to stop themselves from shaking. Then silence. The tape ended. No official source could confirm the tape's authenticity. When asked, Justin's team refused to comment. The Iceland studio denied that such a tape ever existed, but fans began connecting the dots. In an early radio interview from 2011, Justin had briefly mentioned a childhood musical trauma that shut me down for a while. In another, he had said, "There's one sound I never want to hear again, ever. It brings me back to something bad." Some theorists suggested that the viola was connected to a family tragedy. Others speculated it reminded him of his estranged relationship with his biological father, but the most chilling theory came from an anonymous Reddit post. It read, "The viola wasn't the problem, the song was. He didn't write it." In May 2025, a supposed music leak surfaced on the dark web. It lasted only 47 seconds before being removed, but those who heard it described a slow, solemn viola solo broken only by what sounded like a child humming underneath it. Some said it was a lullaby. Others believed it was a funeral hymn. A lyric fragment also leaked. "When the sound leaves, I do too." It matched the handwriting style from Justin's old lyrics in the folder. Was Six Strings in Silence real? Was it the piece Mrs. K had given him? Was it connected to something he was never supposed to remember? The question spiraled, and Justin stayed silent. On June 17, 2025, during a private listening event in Los Angeles, Justin premiered a new track titled Weightless. It was instrumental, no lyrics, just strings. Fans listening closely noticed something odd. In the middle of the song, for exactly 3 seconds, a viola emerged. Soft, fragile, almost like it didn't belong. It faded as quickly as it came. But it was there. To this day, no one has confirmed what really happened during those viola lessons, or what caused Justin to abandon an entire instrument he could have mastered. Some say the cassette was fake, a planted rumor. Others insist the folder exists, and that Six Strings in Silence is real, just locked away, like a secret never meant to be heard. Justin himself has never spoken about the viola again. Not in interviews, not in music, not even in memoir drafts his ghostwriter mentioned in passing. But fans believe that Weightless was his way of confronting the sound he once feared. Not with words, but with notes. The one instrument he had locked away inside himself for decades. Until finally, just for a moment, he let it play. If you enjoyed this story and want to discover more hidden chapters from the lives of iconic figures, subscribe to Unseen Stories. We uncover the truths you were never told.